Hey y'all, welcome to the Clique podcast. Guess who's back?
I'm back. Guys, it wouldn't play. It was so,
there was a little lag
corny.
there.
It took a second, but y'all, it's Leah Nasser here to bring you the breaking, slaying, eating, reading news.
I know that's right.
Yeah, and I'm back off my hiatus, but I'm here to let you know that the Clique podcast is the #1 podcast in America.
Don't be spreading
Europe,
lies.
Africa, everywhere. We international, baby.
Back and better than
Ever.
All together, the gang's all here.
I'm so happy our #1 Fame Monster stand is back.
Oh my God. Put your hands up. Everybody better be jumping.
Okay. So today we have a very special show for you guys. We're going into depth with these two exciting ass topics. First up, we're going to go into Swarm, the Amazon Prime series that is supposedly not fiction and based off real events. So that's going to be by Kaylee and Leah, and me and Martin are going to be moderating that. And then on our topic, we're going to be talking about Girl, turn the ring off.
Oh
my God.
We're going to be talking about the Taylor Swift Eras concert tour, reactions, fashion, records being broken. And Kaylee and Leah are going to be moderating that. So let's get into it with this Swarm topic. Let's hear it, ladies.
Yes. Okay. So first and foremost, I just wanted to start off with the plot so we have like a little bit of insight, right, into the show. So essentially the whole thing, after a tragic accident leaves her, the main character, Dre, alone in the world. Dre develops a taste for murder and drives across the country to be closer to the object of her affection, the pop star Nyjah, an obvious stand-in for Beyonce. Many of the events depicted in the show, from pop culture scandals involving star-studded elevator brawls, you already know what Solange
Yeah.
to splashy, rip-from-the-headline murders, are based on true events that took place in the 2010s.
Ooh, guys, I'm excited about this. You know why? Because I saw the first episode and it was good. It was very gritty. It was giving psychological thriller. It was. And I was watching it and it was like very tense. Like every time I was like when I was sitting and going through the whole 40 minutes, I was like, oh my God, I feel like something bad is about to happen.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Eerie as
it was
fuck.
very like scary euphoria.
And the fact that it was shot on film definitely.
That's why.
That's why.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, this is a little grainy, but I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Like,
It was a
like,
big
it adds
element.
to the ominousness.
Like, this is some scurry shit.
It's so scary. Okay, but so you guys, now when it comes to, Swarm, obviously there's an obvious message behind the series, and it's about stan culture. And we all know that, we know how huge stan culture is now, especially due to social media. You can't really go through a place like Twitter without seeing a bunch of different stan accounts, fan pages, fan pages. Yeah. So, it begs the question as to whether stan culture now is worse than it used to be due to the advent of social media, and how toxic or how far stan culture can go, especially when it comes to like mega stars and like the parasocial relationships that are created between people who are fans of the stars and then the celebrities themselves.
Right.
So, you guys, we got a couple of questions for you, because first of all, I want to get into the fun question first, okay? Because I'm just curious. Has anyone here had a stan account?
No.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Share your experience. Share your
And
experience.
for what?
Oh my God.
On what?
I'm
I mean.
about to expose myself.
What's the at? Drop the at.
Oh gosh, I'm not dropping the ad. But, no, from middle school, just like discovering myself as a young adolescent and whatnot. Obviously, y'all know I love some RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
So literally, I have like a 2,000 follower account still. That
my
Are you
God.
serious?
Yeah, like where I used to make. That's how I learned how to make graphics and whatnot. Like because obviously drag is such a very creative like platform and whatnot.
right,
So
Oh my gosh.
I would learn how to make photo edits and graphics from that. Started off real rough, y'all, but
Oh my
you know,
God.
I got involved in the community there, obviously like very like silently whatnot, and then as I've gotten older I've learned to accept myself and whatnot, and I obviously still have the account. So
When's the last post?
Wow.
last post is probably like last summer probably.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's so wait. Is it for like the whole RuPaul's Drag Race, or is it for like a
Season
specific
by
queen?
season?
So like I would use the account for like multiple things, like obviously interacting with different fans and whatnot. I'd have like I still to this day have like online friend groups and whatnot because of that and whatnot, and the stan culture
That's so cute.
and whatnot. But different making like graphics and edits, fact pages and whatnot, resharing and whatnot, and
That's
like
cool.
I'll even interact with some of the queens from the show. So,
Stop!
No!
Are you serious?
via social media, correct?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
in this
You know what?
instance, it's a positive thing.
Right.
See, that's like the more
Exactly. I
positive
just
side
got
of
to
it.
say that.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
devil's advocate, like
Very
there's definitely a
sweet.
positive
Yeah.
aspect to it too, because now like you get to interact like with your face, like they know who you is. Like,
Yes, which is
But
nice,
yeah.
and it's
It
not
is,
really like
yeah.
making a negative impact in your life at all.
It's
In
not,
fact,
yeah.
it's making it more fun. Like
Yeah.
if you get to
No,
talk
yeah,
to the
exactly.
queens that you
That's
watched
exactly.
on TV, like that's
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
I would only say I feel like it becomes negative as soon as like I said, the parasocial relationships come in, and then it
Yeah.
turns from like a fun hobby to an obsession.
Yeah.
You know?
Which we
exactly.
saw on the show.
Yes,
Right,
which is
exactly.
exactly what's depicted in the show. Like we can see with the main character, we can see how it like kind of starts to die from just being, oh my god, like I love like Nija and she's like my favorite artist, and we slowly start seeing her become really angry and combative when people say like
Anything.
she's just a celebrity,
Yeah.
So
She's
you
a
can say
normal
there's a more
person.
Yeah,
like
she
a more
is.
unhealthy obsession on her end,
Right.
which is I think that's what they're trying to portray, especially like now you guys like this is the cool side, like Martin's side is like the cool side of the stan culture and online stan like
Right.
activities, on Twitter and stuff like that. But like there's also this crazy obsessive side where it
Right.
comes to like doxing people,
about to
harassing
say
people,
that.
stalking,
Like,
yeah.
or even like harassing the celebrities themselves if they don't
Right.
fulfill this fantasy
Right.
that you've created of them.
Never
in
meet
your
your
head.
heroes, guys. They will not live up to your
They
expectations.
won't. Yeah, we have these really rose tinted glasses view of
yeah.
celebrities, but then you meet them and then you're upset that they're not the person you created in your head,
Not at all.
Yeah.
which is really unhealthy. So,
Definitely.
okay, we have another question for you guys. Just one more question before I let my girl Haley. Kaylee.
That's the second time today that Leah has called Katie Haley. Oh my
Guys,
god.
It's accidente. I promise.
Embarrassing.
I've done this my entire life
You're
and nobody
cut.
believes me
Leah,
that I have a
you're
problem. No.
Exit.
Kaylee, I owe you my first child for my apology.
I'll take you up on that.
Okay, no, but being so real, let me see, girl. Okay, so I have another question for you guys, all right? So do you think that due to the advent of social media, that stan culture has become more toxic over time? Or do you think the advent of social media has created an avenue for fans to vent so that it made it at least tamed the obsession of a lot of stans or fans of celebrities?
Kaylee, go.
Personally, I feel like that's subjective, honestly, because we've seen like the positives, like for example, like Martin, like the opportunities, like that can bring in. But with Swarm, we've also kind of seen like the negatives that can bring in too. And I feel like a big part of this discussion honestly has to do with COVID and the fact that a lot of young, impressionable teens were staying in and creating these parasocial relationships. Because here's the thing, y'all, on Twitter, when you see like these accounts trolling, these are kids. Like, these are teenagers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess, like, arguably, it would probably be worse now because now there are younger people. You know what I'm
Involved.
saying?
Right.
Yeah. Because at first I feel like, and, don't take this, like, as a fact, but I feel like, in the early 2000s, like, when Stan, from Eminem was first created, like, these were grown-ass adults.
Yeah.
Now these are kids. So, yeah, I kind of think it's worse just because, like, they're younger now and way more impressionable. And this has, like, an effect on their life, like, not only now, but going, like, into adulthood as well. So.
No, I could see that, especially because like I feel like the fan behavior maybe like we said, we're not 100% sure. We don't have all the stats on this, but fan behavior in the early 2000s, it's so limited to the access that you have, especially like if you're a stan of Hannah Montana and you're like 11 years old,
You're
there's
watching it
only
from
so
Disney.
much. You're watching
You're
it on
not going on
Disney,
Instagram.
right?
Yeah,
you have so much,
exactly.
only so much access, and there's plus media that you cannot watch as a kid. Like your parents are monitoring what you're watching on TV, so as a kid, you're not watching things like Euphoria, right?
not.
You're
But
not.
today
But
they
nowadays,
are.
there's
It's so
the
sad.
access to streaming services lets kids who are like 12, 13, 9 years old watch like TV
No,
shows like
yeah.
Euphoria, who they think are marketed towards them,
But
when
it's
it's
not.
actually for adults, right? So
Yeah.
that way, and then their access to social media, it can create like an environment for them where they feel like it like these people are my friends, because when you're young, you don't have the development to understand the difference, versus an adult, it might be a form of, either mental illness, or it could be a form of just like obsessive behavior that makes you super obsessed over a fan. But I feel like it's less, it's more, I feel like it's more dangerous as a child because it's like your formative years. So it's your,
your brain is still soft.
Exactly.
Martin, what did you think?
I think all of those points are extremely important to mention, especially with the youth. That's a very common theme we've had in our now 3 episodes of our podcast and whatnot. But obviously, because we are speaking to people of our generation and whatnot, but also seeing to how we can like have a personal impact in the media that we are consuming, and how we can, make it a positive effect rather than a negative. And that kind of leads into a point that I want to bring up because, while there is the negatives of like, what like the youth are exposed to in regards to like shows like this and whatnot, and how can like kind of be on thin ice. This series was created by Ginny Navers and Donald Glover, and even co-written by like big figure like Malia Obama. So how do y'all feel about the creative and directive team being led predominantly by, first and foremost, Black creatives, but also individuals of our generation that we can relate to?
I'll go first on this one. I think that I think it's really cool, first of all, that Malia Obama had a hand in this.
Shout out to her.
Yes.
Like,
I didn't even know she was writing.
No, literally.
Like, that was news to me.
Sorry, Martin, what was the question again?
How
do we feel about Black creators and
our generation?
People of our generation? Yes. I think it's amazing. Like, I think, not to bring it back, but to bring it back to last week's topic of the weekend, there was not the right people on the team to be making that show. But with a show like this, it is the right team because it's more relatable, I guess you would say, for those who are creating it, because they have these experiences that people on The Idol more likely than not did not have. Nobody's being told to shove an egg, who knows where on set, like who was making up this storyline versus this was a true event. It was not fiction. So I think that when there's creatives that know the story from personal experience, it only makes the production richer and more interesting to like, give your thoughts on and do research on, far beyond just watching the show.
Right.
Speak on it.
Yeah, that's my
thought. Meyer. Go, Meyer. The thing is, though, guys, is this really is this really based on a true story?
Yes, it is.
Oh, really?
It is.
I mean, like, some is dramatized. Like,
of course.
As well,
but I thought they were joking about that.
No.
Oh, they're being
true.
real.
Yes,
oh my god.
True events. Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
But Maya, to add to your point, and y'all, don't attack me for real, because I do think that like they did like a good job of like, incorporating stan culture and opening up a bigger discussion. But in my opinion, I feel like they didn't really dive deep into stan culture and kind of like why they are the way they are and like the effects that they have. Because here's my thing with the show. I feel like, of course, like Dre is a stan. She was killing people for Niger. Like, that's not okay. But like, at the same time, too, she just lost her foster sister, Chloe Bailey. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't killing people before then. She was killing people after. So she snapped. And then she started, using that as an excuse to cope with her trauma. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in that sense, they didn't really talk about stan culture and the dangerous effects that it has, but more so just kind of like just the actions only. So it just wasn't super deep to me. I thought they could have
because like the behavior, like did she kill her because of Nija, or did she kill her because her sister kill him because of well, no spoiler, sorry y'all. I hope you watched it already. But like, did she kill the what was his name, Khalid? Did she kill him because he was the reason why her foster sister killed herself?
Naja, or because of
because it kind of throws you off, because it's supposed to be about Naija. It's not like really obsessive fan behavior. It's more of like a heartbroken person,
right?
Even if you guys have not watched the first episode, Marissa Jackson, there was a supposedly false article that came out during the time that Marissa Jackson killed herself because Jay-Z had cheated, supposedly, allegedly, on Beyonce when Lemonade came out, and that like set it off for her. But described in the show, Marissa is not the big fan as Dre is, and so it's more perceived as Marissa killed herself because Khalid cheated on her,
which is what it was. Because if you think about it, he cheated on her.
The article was
fake
contacting.
In 2016. Yeah, exactly. She was contacting Dre constantly, asking for her to respond to the phone.
Because Dre was right.
Yeah,
Dre was right. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and she killed herself probably from the heartbreak, and then
Yeah.
everything in her life kind of was crumbling down. So probably the misery. But what does that have to do with nausea? Nothing.
It was probably
really.
both.
Yeah, and that's kind of like where the disconnect for me came from, because like I said, it opened up having this discussion, which I'm glad that we're having, but it didn't really dive deep into it.
Right.
It could have like really like broken that barrier and like, you know, explored more of these topics. You know, I'm so glad that like, you know, again, like they had
It's
it
there.
But, yeah, but
Right.
it just wasn't super deep.
Because I feel like also, I mean, I know this is based off a true story, but a majority of like fan culture is like, I mean, like murdering for, you know, your obsession is not very common. I feel like the more common thing is like to do crazy things like stalk,
break into their
harass,
house.
break into their house. Those are more things that are realistic, and it's more things that would make people like reflect and be like, this is crazy, bro. I like, am I on the road to this? But like, if you see murder, it's so outrageous that your mind doesn't even comprehend that that could be you.
Right.
Or like you could be in this position where you're too obsessive to that point.
Right.
So people kind of just dismiss it as a TV show. So if you really want to put the message out there might have been a better way to approach it. But for entertainment purposes, I'm gonna be real.
It's good.
No, yeah.
Very. It's much more interesting that way, especially if you like, you know, true crime girlies. You know, we like a lot of thrills, but like, you know, we also like real, like, you know, true crime is always based off true stories. So if this is really based off a true story, it's very interesting to like delve into that,
Because it's very much so pop culture. But
Yes.
continue.
I mean, that was pretty much it. I just kind of want to give my dissenting opinion, because I know like we're all saying like, you know, it's about like, you know, toxic stan culture. I just kind of like disagreed a little bit. But that kind of like leads me into my next question. Why is stan culture like so toxic, especially like now in today's day and age, 2023?
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Martin?
I mean, we've talked about this as well in previous episodes, but you know, fans think that just because they have a personal, you know, connection or relationship in their head to you know, these major celebrities and artists and whatnot, they think that they are untouchable and that they can say, do, think whatever they want and produce whatever opinion they want without some sort of repercussion. And at the end of the day, like, these are real people, like, no matter how grand the scale is. So I think like stan culture in general, in the wrong hands, it can be extremely dangerous, and that's why we need to like hold other people accountable via social media, via like word of mouth, whatever, to hold everyone else accountable, because you know, people will just be excessively inappropriate or irresponsible.
Yeah, definitely.
But that also begs the question, you guys, like, is it the fault of the individual for being an obsessive fan, or is it a fault of the entertainment industry for kind of encouraging this kind of relationship to make money? Because if you think about it, like,
that's a really good
a
point.
lot of industries, like, I mean, a lot of industries like movies, TV shows, music, especially because musicians usually have like a more closer personal connection to their fans rather than like actors or other types of artists. And like, even if we see like in K-pop, like stan culture, there's a very strong connection between the fans and the K-pop
army.
idols.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because like there's a lot of ways that these companies will promote parasocial relationships by being like, oh, like talk to your fans, like they like you guys know each other. You
Win
know,
this giveaway and
Win this-
possibly go meet them.
meet them, yeah, and like touch their
I always
hand,
thought
and
that was
you
weird.
know,
Yeah.
there's always things like that fosters this weird like, oh my god, this person, I know them, I see what
Like, the
he does on
chance to
social media
actually get to know
24/7.
them,
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
And you know what? Follow me here. Walk with these sisters. I know. It's gonna be a little bit-
And brother,
and brother.
Okay.
man of the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, in a way, that's low key like a form of PR, earned media, is what we're freaking learning about right now.
No,
like, having
literally,
these
literally,
stands
yes.
make these pages, because that way the label doesn't have to do it. You just
Yeah.
have
There's no
the pages.
connection.
They are your PR
So
now.
there's some legality
Exactly.
problems.
Exactly. So they have the stands to do these things. So yeah, like what you were saying, just kind of like adding to that, like.
Yeah. It's very useful to make money.
No, seriously,
You know,
yeah,
like,
because they're doing all the work for them.
And they know people are
They're
gonna
making
do it.
fan cams. They're making edits. They're literally keeping you updated.
They're doing the marketing.
Yep.
They
Like, if you
literally
think about it, yeah.
earned media. That's PR,
And plus,
y'all.
like, you know, guys, the like really important. I always think about this, but like when if you ever feel like you have like a very unhealthy relationship towards something that you love. So, for example, if you feel like you have this really unhealthy relationship towards like whatever music genre you're into, whatever artist you're into, ask yourself like, what benefit does their like team have for you to be this obsessed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if we see in real life, we know if you're obsessed with a guy you're attracted to, like you have a crush on, that's like so abnormal. People will listen to you and be like, girl, you need to tone that down. Like that's it's given restraining order.
Yeah.
So like you like you can like actually like check people in these circumstances. But when it comes to like people don't check themselves when it comes to artists because they're so disconnected every day from these people that they think that this is not something that's abnormal. Especially when people tell you, oh, I'm a stan, I bought $300 worth of merchandise and I've made 50 pages dedicated to them. We're like, oh, they're really into that person. But we don't think like, first of all, what does these massive entertainment companies benefit from having your mental health or your brain tied around one celebrity? And like, why is that considered normal? But it would be abnormal if you knew the person, which actually, if you knew the person,
that'd be
you
even
actually
more strange.
that would sound
because,
more
like,
strange, even though you actually do know the person. So
No, like literally.
you know, it's just like, I don't know. Those questions are always in my head a little bit.
Any final wrapping thoughts on Swarm?
Actually,
Watch it. I feel like you
Kaylee
should
and
watch
then
it
Martin.
because, you know, and then make your own decision. But honestly, I tell people like watch the media and then hate on it and then love it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want to do, but watch it first.
Kaylee?
No, exactly. Point blank. Period. No. Actually, when you were talking, that reminded me of this one tweet that I saw because like stan culture is just like so crazy. Like this one Taylor Swift fan, like who had like a fan account. She's like, oh yeah, like I'm feeling down, like like possibly like talking about like
Oh,
Yeah.
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, girl, why did another Taylor Swift fan account comment under, girl, don't do it. We got to buy some more like singles or something like that. So we can
That's
get on Billboard.
crazy.
I'm like, girl.
What?
People are sick.
No, because
No, 'cause I
do
tried
you
to find
see
the
what I
tweet
mean? Like when
verbatim.
you're doing things like that,
Things
you
go
gotta
too
stop
far.
and think.
Like-
Stop and look in the mirror.
She's like, yeah,
At
you can
who
do it
you
after.
become.
Just like, buy the single first.
No, literally, that buy the single
Stupid.
first is crazy.
So dumb. Martin?
Okay, I thought we were gonna be connected in our point, but my point is completely different. But no, I want to give Miss Dominique Fishback her flowers
Oh,
because
absolutely.
no, for me, just seeing the little bit of the first episode that I did see, from the moment that it starts, you can see how the narrative is told in such a non-traditional way,
Right.
and how it's told in a unique way. It blurs a sense of reality for the viewer just watching it for a short duration of time, the whole series. And for me personally, like I was watching like a review video is also about Swarm yesterday.
Yeah.
And a main point was you don't really see people of color as like the serial killer type in a thriller and whatnot, and just to see her like and her so talented just to like portray this in a way where it makes me feel uncomfortable watching.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
was
realistic.
good.
She deserves an Oscar.
Realistic.
That laugh?
Yeah. Oh my
When
God.
she
Yeah.
has the blood and she's just like eating the pie. That was
Yeah.
sick.
Dude. It's just like, no, it's good.
Because after she murdered, she'd be hungry. Sorry, what were you saying?
Right.
No.
She told me right after. She's like, that took a lot of energy.
Damn.
Like, bitch.
You don't eat before? Like,
No, right.
Before committing
She
a
worked up
crime.
an
No, she's like,
appetite.
I gotta
junk
know,
food, y'all.
literally.
Go ahead.
No, but that was pretty much it for me. The moment that I saw that promotional video with her and Billie Eilish, like I was just like, I felt like I was just zoned in, and I was like,
for sure.
it's worth watching, y'all. The whole series.
Yes.
Yes,
Go stream
definitely.
right now.
On
Okay.
Amazon Prime.
What about you, Maya?
I agree with all of you guys.
Yes.
But more importantly, why don't we
Speaking of
get
stans.
into with
Yeah,
your
speaking
little
of stands.
because this is real life.
Yeah.
What Kaylee just mentioned about the Taylor Swift tweets that was fucking insane. We're gonna go into our second topic of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour from me and Martin's perspective.
Yeah.
Martin, you
Yeah.
can go ahead first.
All right, all my Swifties in Las Vegas. First and foremost, congrats to all y'all that managed to get a ticket.
Yeah.
For tour
Fight for
tonight
your
or
life.
tomorrow.
Because you already know about that Ticketmaster mess.
Yeah.
Because we went over that in one of our pilot episodes.
Pilot. When y'all didn't hear.
Imagine though, like,
Right.
okay, let me run down some background for y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
So first and foremost, this is her 6th headlining tour. Her second all stadium tour since the 2018 Reputation Stadium tour. And, you know, this is not any old tour, y'all. She's embarking. That's the second time I've done that. Embarking on the Eras tour in honor of all of her 10 studio albums, including her newest album, Midnights. And obviously, she didn't tour due to the pandemic for her studio albums Lover in 2019, Folklore, and Evermore in 2020. So, you know, this is basically her chance, you know, reunite her fans. Like, this is the big, you know, Taylor Swift Super Bowl, y'all, you know. And like I said, it goes through all of her musical eras from her albums Taylor Swift, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, and now Midnights. 44 songs, y'all, into 10 acts. This concert is essentially
that's a lot.
3.5 hours to up to
like
5
a
hours.
musical.
Literally.
Wow.
You're getting your money's worth.
No,
Literally.
definitely. No, absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with all that Ticketmaster mess, you know, I feel like this is going to be extremely impactful just for the music industry as a whole. When they say Taylor Swift is the music industry, y'all better put some respect on her name. What are we initial thoughts about this Eras tour, y'all?
Okay, so first of all, I didn't even know that she was doing all this on the tour. Like, I just found it.
Yeah.
Girl,
honestly,
Eras.
same.
Era is just like a common word.
Yeah,
now,
no, I
though.
should have known that too.
Like everyone's just saying
like
era
on
for
my
anything.
villain era,
Yeah,
like type shit. So yeah, I didn't know that she was actually going to break down each studio album and pay homage to herself from each era. Like
it's
that
pretty
is
great.
such a great concept, and I'm glad that again, like she's doing this and like also still just, like staying true to herself in the present, and that's reflected not only with the set list but with the fashion looks as well. That was really exciting, but I know we're gonna get into that a little bit later. So
if I'm being so like realist of the real for real, I stopped following like what Taylor Swift was doing after her Red album.
Right.
If I'm being realist,
so
I know that was so.
No, but
it was
low-key.
so long ago. I know, but like if I'm just being real, because you know what it is. I formed like attachment to her like country girl, like persona, so that when she like changed to pop girl, I was like, I don't know. I felt like a disconnect, to be real, because like I like the child in me was like, it's a love story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when it changed to like, you know, look what 22. You made me do, or 22, I just like kind of got over it. But I will say this: those first couple of albums she released. Game
Speak
changers
Now,
and industry changers. Who was making country super popular between all ages like that? Who was bringing young kids into
Bye.
Wait, what was Reba's song again?
Girl, I don't know.
A single mom who works 2 hours, loves her kids and never stops. I'm a survivor. But yeah, she was like, no, but Taylor Swift legit was getting like young girls like me into country. I never thought about country when I was like,
girl.
9 years
it was
old.
Party in the USA.
No, Party in the
day,
USA, like outside of Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
Okay.
Okay.
outside of Hannah Montana, I was honestly like barely, but like Taylor Swift was really like, I have a lot of nostalgia for her just because of that. So I like that it's his eras, because like if I actually went, I'd be so excited to see her do like the eras that I grew up with. I feel like that would be just so nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Me personally, with our topic, I feel most interested in the aspect of watching fans who are diehard get a chance to see Taylor and like showing their experience through social media, more specifically TikTok. And I think it's so interesting how like it's romanticized, I guess you would say, because they're like, I'm buying this outfit, I'm going as this era, like either Midnights or Red. And
wait,
like,
that's cute.
It's really exciting. Like I almost feel like I'm
theme.
living vicariously through them. And that's just what I've noticed the most. Obviously the fashion is a huge part of it, which we're gonna get into. Right?
Oh, slay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You know we love fashion.
So I took the liberty of
He did the work, y'all.
I found an article that actually put side by side in multiple collages the original look from the original era in her music career, her 17-year long spotlight,
so
y'all.
crazy.
But no, I actually set that up for y'all. So if you want to take a look, I'm gonna run down each little era from the past, and then with the look that she actually wore in the first show in Glendale in Swift City, they renamed it. So
temporarily for that weekend,
Swift
and then they
City?
changed it
in
back.
Arizona.
That is so
Nice one.
that is so
Leah, your freaking laugh.
Stop!
Okay, Leah, let's get to
Because that is very sorry. That was so okay. That was good.
First one.
Okay,
we
go
have
ahead.
here.
First look is from Lover.
Girl, is it?
Yes,
Oh.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Wait,
This
my bad,
reminds
my
me of
bad.
our Grammy to Granny.
Oh my.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so first one we got the Lover era. So on the left we have her at the 2019 MTV Music Video Awards. On the right, obviously in Glendale. See that the little synchronization of the guitar. Then we have the Reputation era. On the left, she's performing in Dublin, Ireland, her Reputation tour. On the right, she switched it up, add a little
love
red
it.
up in here. Got the 1989 era. And then we got the Folklore and Evermore eras with obviously the aesthetic of the very, whimsical and the very, wooden, features and whatnot. The house, foresty,
Cottagecore, yes.
Fearless era with the gold fringe.
Favorite.
Fearless
Favorite.
era is my favorite.
Favorite.
I love it. And Speak Now.
Speak Now is very pretty, yes.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God, yeah, down.
And we got the Speak Now era. Obviously, this gown, we're going to get into it
She should
later.
have curled her hair
Yes,
for
because
this.
there's a lot of
If
to
her
talk
hair was
about
still
for this
curly,
gown.
Curly.
so
Oh,
different.
I
like
want it.
little
Yeah.
side part with the
I
guitar.
want it.
And then lastly, we got the red era, the iconic 22 music
Oh, I
video
remember this
outfit.
Oh my
Me
gosh.
too. No, because
Guys, when I
Thoughts,
turned
y'all?
22, I was like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
What are our thoughts, y'all?
Our thoughts? Go ahead, girl.
Favorite
But the
outfit.
fits?
Favorite
No,
era
yeah.
that she's like, I guess, gone back and forth with, like then and now, like what you see best.
Okay, so okay, my favorite era, like, as an artist for her, bitch, it was Red. I Knew You Were Trouble. Oh my
I
god,
knew you were
that had a
trouble
chokehold
when
on
you
me,
were-
seriously. And like 22 as well. We're Never Getting Back Together. All of her singles
Yeah.
for that album,
Yeah.
they
They
went
were
triple
so
platinum
famous.
to
Yeah.
me. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I think you can see the joy on her face from being able to sing these songs that mean so much to people
Yeah.
from when it first came out to now, and the fact that she gets to almost relive and wear these new updated versions of that era, I think is really exciting.
No,
and
seriously.
my personal favorite is the Fearless
Me
golden one.
too.
That one is beautiful.
I love Fearless.
What do you think, Leah? Kaylee?
Oh my god,
Martin.
I love Fearless.
As far as looks go, my favorite is probably the Reputation one, and just kind of like how she played on that. Because y'all, I think we're forgetting during that whole era, she was called a snake, getting her comments flooded, talking about, oh yeah, you're a snake, because the whole like Kim and Kanye feud that was like, going on with them too. So the fact that like, she kind of played on it and like embraced like, oh yeah, I'm a snake. Yeah, girl.
I didn't even
fuck
notice
with
that. That's a really good point. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I was like, okay, girl, like, I see you. I do. And second for me was probably that Versace bodysuit, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versace,
hottie.
like.
Versace.
I would
okay.
say I would say me personally, I've never been very excited about Taylor Swift's fashion being real. Just because I feel like it's very I don't feel like it's something that like stays in your head. I feel like it's very temporary.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you know,
you're right, yeah.
but I felt like her Fearless era and her Speak Now era were very like distinct. Meaning like I love identity.
Yes,
Yes,
this is her
right?
identity.
So like if I walked into a party dressed like how she did in like 1989, people
like-
won't know that I'm
Yeah, you're
like,
wearing something from 2016.
Yeah, right.
Update
That's
your
what it just
closet,
looks
yeah.
like. Yeah. But if I dress like, if I wear the curly blonde wig and then the
Yes,
dress
with the
and
little
I walk with a
guitar,
guitar,
some
everyone will
cowgirl
know
boots, yeah.
immediately I'm Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
right.
And I'm a very identity person. Like
Yeah.
I love when people have like an image because I feel like I like the fact that I can associate it with them and they can expand on that. So yeah, I would say like I like the little like Fearless and like Speak Now outfits, like especially Fearless because Love Story and You Belong With Me are on there, which are bangers and legendary, and like kids will be listening to that in the future.
Forever. Yeah.
Yes, because
Down
who's gonna
forever.
bring country back like that?
I mean,
Nobody.
Right.
Okay, so all of y'all basically covered
Oh, yeah,
all like
baby.
the best ones in my opinion. I'm gonna give the little fashion plugs right now. So
Oh,
obviously
right.
I love the Lover Versace bodysuit and Christian Louboutin boots.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously I love the Reputation era,
Red
like
bottom down.
Miss
Red
Kaylee
bottom.
said, with the Roberto Cavalli catsuit,
Yep.
and then Speak Now era, which I feel like if anyone had to choose, I feel like that would be the clear favorite with the Nicole and Felicia princess gown and whatnot. But honestly, y'all no one has said this, but my favorite like outfit that she wore honestly, because I feel like not only is it true to her, but I also feel like aesthetically with the cottagecore theme is the folklore dress that she wore.
Because it's so current.
Yes, by
Oh,
Alberta
it's so
Ferretti.
cute. I
The
like
flowing
it.
purple, very
like the purple.
sheer.
And the
So-
set, too.
Yeah, because I
It's
still
really nice.
associate her that with that kind of.
And that's like a whole
vibes.
thing for artists because they do want
Yeah.
to differentiate
Differentiate.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
themselves
Yeah.
from when they were 16. So
Yeah.
No,
it's a
yeah,
really
of
big
course.
deal.
And I like seeing all of this like all together because you can see how clearly she has evolved from like all that country star to literally taking over the world
No,
as being
literally.
a pop
Yeah.
star.
Being able to
Billboard top 10
Be in
all
both
10
genres,
slots.
not
That's
just country.
crazy.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
10 slots is crazy.
Girl.
You know, it was news to me because, like I said, I haven't followed her since Red. When I found out that she's like still so mega popular,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, because that's like over 10 years
Yeah.
of relevancy.
Longevity.
A lot of longevity. I was like really surprised, and like to maintain that kind of like relevance for that long, she must be doing something right. You know,
Martin?
You know what I'm saying?
Niche audience.
Yeah.
Let's get more into the set list and stats and stuff like that.
Okay, so let's first of all, I don't want to plug this in right now because this is actually very important with her just first show in Glendale. But y'all, she's breaking records with this tour. This is potentially going to be the highest grossing tour of all time.
What?
guys,
Are you
of
serious?
All time. And I'm gonna spit some facts right now, as I always do.
No,
The
true.
52 city, tour and whatnot. This is obviously predicted to become the highest grossing tour of all time. She could possibly accumulate $520 million from this tour solely from the U.S. dates, not going even international, beating out major tours that have grossed millions of dollars, like Ed Sheeran's Divide Tour with $432 million, Bad Bunny's World's Hottest Tour with $400 million. And she's also broken another record by beating Madonna's record that was set over 30 years ago for the most attended female-led stadium concert. So Madonna had 63,000 people in attendance at Los Angeles Anaheim Stadium, whereas Taylor had literally 73,000 people in attendance in State Farm Arena in Glendale, Arizona, which is literally more than there were people at the Super Bowl.
Whoa,
At the
that's
yeah.
okay.
So
When you
that's the
compare it to
same
that,
stadium.
that's crazy.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because I was like thinking in the scope of like concerts, how much is a lot? You know, like
Yeah.
insane amount.
Yeah.
If it's more than Super Bowl, it's like
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
But that was just Arizona.
cannot deny
Imagine,
it.
And
the
that's only one
actual,
place,
big
yeah.
First show,
stage.
yeah.
Wait,
Crazy.
quick shout out to Paramore because they opened for her. In
Oh my god, I love Paramore.
No, me too. Me too.
I love Paramore.
That's not even like an opening act. That's like 2 concerts in
No,
one.
that's because like how is
Ain't it
Paramore in the
fun?
opening?
Baby, now you will not
What was that
Okay.
one song? God damn
Still
it.
into you.
Yeah.
No, of course. I'm still into you. No, the God damn it.
Okay.
No, it's so
Um,
good, you guys. It's still it's blanking. I know the song. I hear it all the time. It's like when she's like, guys, no,
Martin,
you guys are not gonna
Okay.
shame me
No,
live.
we're gonna
like
get into
this.
this set
The
list.
thought will come later. We're gonna keep
Yeah,
the ball
we're gonna get
rolling.
into
Okay.
set list. Do you want to say every single title, or we can just brief it as
Because there's
most?
44 of them.
There are
Well,
so
there's
many.
44
songs.
songs.
Oh,
Ladies,
damn.
let's just take a look at the set list. What are your favorites, and is there any songs from Taylor that you're gonna tell her to include in the upcoming tour dates to come?
I just want to say that I think this 44 songs. You're getting a lot.
Yeah. Huh?
But my favorite.
How do we get here?
I don't remember that
When
one.
I used to know you.
Nope, that's
so-
just
Next.
Y'all know all
Next
the baddies
caller.
on TikTok know this song, and yeah, period.
My favorite songs from the set list include obviously Fearless, You Belong With Me. I'm so mad that I
You
can't see that
belong
in
with
person.
me.
That was literally my first introduction to Taylor Swift, like period. So like
Oh,
still being
me
able,
too.
Still being able to listen to it now and relate to it and like just like love it as much as I
God,
once
you know what I
did.
relate to? Love Story, guys. I don't relate to it because I don't have that in my life, but like I relate to it because I relate to the mindset that makes you feel like that.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
She's so real for that.
You know what I'm
How do you?
saying?
Which ones do you guys like the
It's
best?
so like Romeo and Juliet, like love core.
I mean, as far as like the set list, I'm really obviously you already know I Knew Your Trouble. I'm so happy that she's performing that. Like that's the one that was like, okay, like yeah, like I really like her. Of course, like We're Never Getting Back Together. I feel like she's gonna go like crazy on that one. Let's see. Probably Lavender Haze too. I feel like that'll be
Also,
nice
the
and
10-minute
interesting.
version of All Too Well.
I
You're
know.
so crazy. I need to see that.
No, like literally. But I'm low-key disappointed that she's not performing the actual song Red though, because I really like that song.
Yeah.
But honestly, the set list itself is pretty.
It's
solid,
all the
though.
bangers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
top charts, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
What are
yeah.
you excited about?
I would say I'd be excited about you guys, because like you said, I told you I don't really follow Taylor Swift that much, but I would say like I said, I have like a lot of nostalgia for her like first couple albums.
Yeah.
And the fact that she used to write them, like, she used to write them herself in her room and all that. Like, it was just, I don't know, it just related to my 8-year-old self. Used to like love it.
Yeah.
Humble Bee. And I remember because I was, so when the song was released, You Belong With Me, I was in Ethiopia. And then we didn't have no streaming service or whatever. So we had to wait for the songs to play on the radio. And if they didn't, you never heard them.
Oh my
And my mom would not let me buy songs on my iPod. So I would get really, really mad because the only time I would hear them is whenever they play in the radio. And one time, me and my cousins were sitting in the car waiting for my aunt to buy something and come back. And then You Belong With Me played on the radio, and we all started screaming.
Oh my
and
gosh,
then we
that's
were
such a core memory.
freaking out, and we blasted it, and we were just like going crazy, and like I don't know, it was I have that core memory. So if I got to see that live, I feel like it would just bring me back to that time. You know? Yeah.
Well, damn, I can't follow that up. But oh my gosh, like, because I used to be the biggest Taylor Swift hater, y'all. Disclaimer.
Really?
Sorry, y'all. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like, honestly, like, being in middle school, when not looking back, it was so easy to hate on her.
It was a trend.
It was
yeah.
a trend.
It was.
And honestly, I regret that so much because literally she's so, like, such a big part of our childhood. And when I think of Taylor Swift, I think of nostalgia. So with that being said, the fact that she's doing You Got That James Dean
Daydream
style.
looking
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yes.
There's something about that song that just gets my
It's
body
just so
moving.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but Shake It Off. I know it's basic, but like,
No, I would be excited to see that too.
I stay up too late, got nothing in my brain. Oh my god. And
So I'm just gonna shake it off.
Yes.
And like, oh my gosh, I knew you were trouble, all that and whatnot, but for me, not gonna lie, Midnights is not my favorite piece of work from Miss Swift, but I do love Lavender Haze. I love that fusion of pop that
Or
she,
Karma.
yes, that she is able to produce and whatnot. But in terms of things that are missing, y'all don't laugh at me, but I want some teardrops on my guitar up in
Oh
there.
my gosh, yes.
Bro, yes.
Yes.
I
Because,
didn't
you
get
know,
loud for one, but that is
I'm actually part country, by the way. So,
my no,
and
yeah.
speaking
farm.
on that,
Part
mine
farm.
Mine.
and mean
I want you, Jay.
someday
I'll be living in a big old city.
You literally, come on now.
Oh
like,
my god, I used to love that song, you guys. I used to hear Injustice when I was shopping Injustice.
Yes.
And I used to love
I
listening
actually
to it
can't
when I was
believe my
shopping.
mom would not do it.
No, like you remember Limited 2 though?
Limited 2 was before Justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was when she was creating like Fearless. And
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh
yeah,
my
that's my thoughts.
God.
Any final thoughts on Miss Taylor Swift and her Eras tour?
Good for you, girl. And
She's breaking
keep it up.
records. Keep it up.
Break it. Keep it up. Keep breaking those records and just slay all day, whatever you
Martin
gotta do.
Wanted to highlight the fact that she is going to be here as we are recording this tonight and
Oh,
tomorrow
she will
be
in
here
Las
in
Vegas.
Vegas, yes.
And she's doing some really incredible stuff like
Okay, so literally, she didn't even publicize this herself, but she's actually made a major, and she's going to continue making major contributions to food banks across the nation throughout her Eras tour, including here in Las Vegas and Glendale, Arizona, where she had her obviously her first show.
Last
So
weekend.
that's obviously amazing. And again, she did not even publicize this herself. The media and the press obviously released it.
Right.
So obviously that's amazing. And just on a personal note, like just like about the tour in general, just like wrapping thoughts. Literally, as I was driving home from class yesterday, I was passing by Allegiant Stadium, and
the
I was-
line for
no,
merch. The
and
line for merch
Oh,
was
really?
crazy.
I didn't even know. I was like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
And I literally saw
Yeah.
the Eras tour. Like,
I know.
A little, like,
I know. Yeah.
And
me
the
too.
line was literally wrapping around the
around
sidewalk.
yes.
And I
That's
was like, "Holy moly!
unbelievable.
Wow!
I
Oh
know.
my god!"
My God, that's crazy.
They literally had to close the line early
God.
yesterday
Wow.
and resume it today at noon because the demand, as always,
It's
for Miss Taylor
crazy.
Swift is just way
so
too much
That's
for
so crazy.
us to handle.
Wow, I'm jealous kind of, you guys. Can you imagine some
I
people
know.
doing all that for
I've been
you?
listening to her all week and I'm not even going.
Oh my
Anyways,
No, my
Gotta get into
God.
the
Could
groove,
you
right?
imagine?
that concludes our two
That's so
topics for
cute.
episode 3.
Okay.
Do you guys
Yes.
want to say anything else? Follow us on Instagram at the Clique Podcast.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more content.
Yes,
y'all.
content is coming out.
Yes. And you're going to like
fresh.
it because you're going to see us.
Yes, you'll be able to see us at some point. But
Yeah.
thank you for listening, guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
we know
thanks
you
for
love us,
tuning
and you
in.
know we're gonna be here so you can build your parasocial relationships.
Okay.
Extend pages
Okay,
for us.
Stream
just kidding,
Taylor
but
Swift.
Yes.
yes.
All eras.
Okay,
And
period.
stream Swarm.
Yes,
on
go
And
watch
Prime
Swarm.
Video.
Swarm, yeah, you guys. I think you guys are gonna like it.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, y'all.
Click
Click out.
The click is
Click
out.
out.